Hello, I'm Bethany Kwan, Investigator and Director of COPRH Education and Associate Professor in the CU School of Medicine's Department of Family Medicine. I'm delighted to welcome you to the inaugural Colorado Pragmatic Research and Health Conference, or COPRH Con. While COPRH Education has been hosting conferences and workshops for many years, this is our first opened up to national audiences. Thank you all for coming from far and wide, and we hope you keep coming back. COPRH Con is funded by the Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality with a 3-year R13 conference grant. Our aims are to describe and promote use of pragmatic research methods, models, and measures to support translation of evidence-based practices, policies, and guidelines to clinical, community, and public health settings, to build capacity for pragmatic research through use of web-based tools, templates, and guidance materials for application of pragmatic research methods, and to foster team science and use and testing of pragmatic research methods through creation and support of a virtual learning community. One of the considerations in writing this grant and preparing this conference was defining what we meant by pragmatic research. There are a variety of ways of conceptualizing pragmatic research, from pragmatic clinical trials to drug trials focused on real-world evidence to dissemination and implementation research. For COPRH Con, we conceptualize pragmatic research as research designed to be conducted in the real world using usual care settings, resources, and structures. It is intended to help support a decision by service and care providers and policy makers, patients, and other stakeholders on whether and in what context to adopt, deliver, or make use of an intervention. This conference is designed specifically using the language and context of health services research and public health research, but is certainly useful beyond those contexts. COPRH Con brings you both established and emerging pragmatic methods, measures, and models, many of which come from the blossoming field of dissemination and implementation, or D&I science. These methods help to ensure that pragmatic research is not seen as messy or poorly done research, but rather relevant and rigorous. Of great importance is the fact that conducting research in diverse real-world settings helps to ensure that our evidence can be applied successfully across different populations and contexts, which is critical for promoting health equity. Our agenda for year one will present a variety of tours of methods, models, and measures covering a wide variety of topics in a short amount of time. The goal is to introduce you to the vast array of strategies you might use in pragmatic research and give you a sense of when each is relevant and applicable to your research. COPRH Con is a 3-year conference series that follows what we're calling the evidence life cycle. Year one focuses on phase 1, pragmatic research conceptualization, planning, and getting funded. Year 2 will focus on phase 2, conduct and implementation of pragmatic research, with topics such as accessing learning health system infrastructure, adaptation, ethics, and human subjects. Year 3 will focus on phases 3 and 4, with topics such as dissemination, sustainment, commercialization, and de-implementation. Year one's focus on planning pragmatic research will guide you through strategies for stakeholder engagement, which is important for planning research questions that matter to stakeholders and identifying partnerships and infrastructure that will support conduct of research in real-world settings. You will explore pragmatic research planning frameworks, study designs feasible for use in real-world settings, and outcomes and measures that matter to your stakeholders. If you are seeking career development or training awards, or looking to build your team, as pragmatic science is inherently team science, you will also explore training opportunities in learning about the different expertise you might need to add to your team. We would have loved to host you all in person on our beautiful campus in Aurora, Colorado, but of course circumstances have dictated otherwise. We have designed a highly interactive virtual conference, including both asynchronous and synchronous content hosted on the Learning Times website platform. It's our hope that you will find the conference informative and useful for your work, offering new ideas, new methods, and new collaborations to support your pragmatic research. Here's a brief overview of how to make the most of COPRH Con this year. We understand that 2 full days in front of a screen can be overwhelming, and so we offer all of our keynote and plenary addresses as recorded presentations. You can access these sessions a week in advance of our interactive conference days and for several months afterwards. You can also plan to follow our day of conference agenda and watch the recordings during the scheduled time slots. It's your choice. Several of our breakout sessions and poster presentations are also available as recorded sessions on the conference website. Follow along with our conference program to keep notes and track resources and ideas for your own research and training. We're delighted to welcome our opening and closing keynote presenters, Dr. Amy Kilborn from the VA Clarion University of Michigan, and Dr. Elva Arredondo from San Diego State University, as well as plenary presenters, Drs. Kate Guastafaro from Penn State and Ross Brownson from Washington University in St. Louis. We are also pleased to showcase several of our own faculty for plenaries, including Drs. Amy Hoopschman from the Division of General Internal Medicine and Accords Dissemination and Implementation, and Matt Winia from our Center for Bioethics and the Humanities. A conference isn't a conference without interactive and networking opportunities, of course. Our breakout sessions all follow a similar structure. Many lectures, either recorded or live, plus active application guided by the breakout session leaders. We offer networking lunches both days, or perhaps networking snacks for those joining from the East Coast, with unstructured discussions on select topics led by national leaders and experts. Don't miss opportunities to talk about pragmatic research training programs, collaborating with health systems and community partners, and building your team for team science, among others. Our poster session Tuesday night offers 10 minutes of live discussion with each of our presenters. Watch the poster presentation in advance and then join for the discussion, or spend the poster session watching posters to your heart's content. Finally, we offer Q&A sessions with our keynote and plenary presenters and special panel discussions on topics such as selecting frameworks and planning your career path in pragmatic research. You can submit your questions in advance using the Learning Times discussion forum or during the live chat. We'll be monitoring both and curating questions for presenting to our speakers. Finally, please take advantage of the COPRH Con Pragmatic Research Planning Workbook, available for download on the Learning Times website. The workbook includes 5 worksheets to accompany the conference sessions and help you prepare a pragmatic research plan. This plan can be based on a new project idea or something you're already working on. If you are planning a research proposal submission to a mechanism that supports pragmatic trials, this plan will help you make sure the main components of a pragmatic trial in D&I, health services research, or public health are addressed. Many of the breakout sessions will also have worksheets to help with applying specific methods, models, and measures. These worksheets will complement our main COPRH Con workbook. Thank you for joining us at COPRH Con. We hope you enjoy the experience. Please look out for our evaluation materials. We'd appreciate your feedback.